Woo! What is going on, everybody? I wanted to run through a few tips and tricks for preparation for your draft that is coming up. We just had the preseason games last night. It's getting real. It's getting close. So I want to give you guys some tips on things you can do to prep for your draft and things that kind of just these little tiny things you don't think are important, but they're super important. Obviously, I keep saying mock draft, do that. But another thing what you want to do is you want to go in and check your league settings. So you want to make sure that there's not something in there that's abnormal compared to another league you've either played in, or if you haven't played in a league before, just so you get familiarized with the league setting, how many roster spots there are, if you're getting bonus points. A lot of the times you get bonus points, and that, will help you determine who you're going to pick over a certain player. So for instance, let's say that you're, on the clock and you're staring down Julio Jones and Antonio Brown, and you've got them pretty evenly ranked, but your league offers a 3 or 4 point bonus to players that go over 100 yards receiving. Well, Julio does that all the time. Guys like freaking 1,500 yards, is only 16 games, and that's if he plays all of them. So the guy's going to get usually over 100 yards. So he's going to get that 3 point bonus almost every week. Whereas Antonio Brown, he might get more touchdowns. Maybe not now that he's on Oakland. But if you see what I'm saying, those type of things can impact and help you decide during the middle of the draft who you're actually going to pick. And they might adjust your rankings, right? You might see all the rankings you see out there might be great and good if it's a full PPR, but then all of a sudden you're in there and you see that your team you have bonus structure set up. So, certain things like that can sway you, can make you decide, switch between one player or another. And you want to make sure that you don't have the playoffs in week 17, that it ends in week 16, because week 17 is when all the guys get sat, usually, who have already clinched. So you don't get good production from your star players that have been on your team. So that's definitely something you want to correct. And all this stuff you kind of want to look at. Just give it a glance. It doesn't take but a couple minutes. And you want to do that before the draft, 100% before the draft. Having been a commissioner for like 15 years in my leagues, you will not believe the crybabies you get, even if it's over something stupid like that. If it's something stupid where you maybe change, as week 17 was, the playoffs, and you missed it, right? You forgot. Shoot, I clicked the wrong button. I clicked the wrong drop down. You announced, hey guys, sorry, it was 15, 16, 17. I clicked 14, 15, 16. I clicked that. I should have been 14, 15, 16 for the playoffs. Man, the little whiny bitches you get in your fucking leagues, dude. These guys, well, I would have drafted different. Yeah, you really? No, you fucking wouldn't have, man. Shut up. I would have drafted different if I'd have known. And then, and anything can be like that. Anything, dude. People will bitch and complain because they suck at fantasy football just to give themselves an excuse on why they suck at fantasy football. So they have somebody to blame, right? Everybody's trying to blame everybody else instead of taking responsibility and blaming themselves. So that being said, you guys got to get all that shit worked out before the end of the draft. And that will help set you guys apart, make sure everything's squared away, make sure you guys are good. But yeah, just go through your league settings, make sure you understand, make sure if it's a snake draft, it's a snake draft and not a 1 through 12. Make sure it's not auction style. Make sure all of that is totally understood. How many roster spots you're going to have, all that, your points structure. Maybe sometimes freaking people give kickers like ridiculous amounts of points. Make sure you either tell them, don't do that. Let's change that before the draft starts, or just so you fully understand who is going to score what points, because points are all that matter at the end of the day, right? Points are all that make a difference between you winning and losing a game. There's nobody winning and losing a game on wins. They don't go through and say, oh, you had Tom Brady, he won this week, you win this week. No, it don't work that way. So just make sure you check out your stats, check all that stuff out, guys. All right, see ya.